here now, Team Talk Podcast, the sports podcast, will be with you guys every Sunday evening. It will drop about maybe Monday. So here we are now. So we've got Coach with us. We've got Kev. We've just finished watching that Arsenal match, Arsenal Man City. What do you guys make of this game that we just watched today? Coach, you was here to watch the match, so what do you reckon?
I think it was a good match. I think everybody expected a result. City, you can tell, was their first game of the season. Obviously, they got a strong squad, so it doesn't really matter who they bring in and put in and bring out. Arsenal, you could just tell they got to get over Wenger. It's been 20 odd years. Emery's got to put his plan in place, but he's coming straight playing against the best team in the league. So having a new team, having new players, new structure, new language, new voice in the dressing room, and straight away you got to put that all on show against the best
Don't
team.
you reckon though, like that was maybe a blessing in disguise to just get that out of the way? Because you got the excuse now, like you just said, new game, new team, blah blah blah. So don't you think now they've done that? Like they've got City out of the way. Now they can. Who do you want next week? Chelsea.
I think with Arsenal, they're not going to be involved in the title race at all. So to me, it don't matter whether they're playing City now, City in the middle of the season. It don't matter to me. In my mind, my opinion, they're not involved in the title race. They've got other things to think about and mould in their team and their squad and that. So I personally think they're not in the race. So it doesn't really make a difference.
So what should they focus on then? This league?
If I'm Arsenal with the new manager and everything's new, I'm focused on the Europa League. Because you try and kill two birds with one stone. You win the Europa League, you get in the Champions League. I think the whole top four, they will go for top four because obviously you have to play your 38 league games. Yeah. So that's what you got to concentrate. But when the Europa League starts, if I was Arsenal, I would focus more on that.
But we know Arsenal fans though, man. Like, shout out Dots, all my other Arsenal guys. A lot of them look down on the Europa. Obviously, they still believe that they're one of the top teams, that Europa is like a waste of time. But yeah, realistically, I agree with that. I think maybe just go for Europa League, have a run in that. If you get to the final and win it, that can change the whole mentality of your team. Yeah. You've won a European trophy, you're back in the Champions League. You know, whether they came sixth in the season, I think that'll be a good. What do you reckon, Kev?
I agree with what you guys are saying. I think Arsenal are a new team. They're gelling. It's too early to call. There's certain factors to their team that are pre-existing and they need to change. And I think Emery's new. He's got to give certain big people, big names. They've got like Ozil, other people that I know a lot of my Arsenal fan friends talk about, Xhaka and the rest of them. Like,
what do you think about Ozil though? Ozil, he was raw today, man. Come on, guys, let's keep it real. Ozil was, fam, he was.
That's exactly what I'm trying to say. Like, I think Ozil, I think he's at a crossroads here. He's got to perform under this new manager.
He needs a good season.
Otherwise, it's he's got to go. That's just from an outsider looking in.
Well, I think people got to understand what Ozil is. I think a lot of people want Ozil to be Messi, Ronaldo. He's not that sort of player.
What is he?
He's a number 10, but he's a number 10 that needs runners around him. Yeah. That's what he needs.
He's
that's
got runners though.
No, but that's when for me, but Arsenal don't have no wingers. Who's Arsenal's wingers?
I think you're correct.
All of them play in his space. All of them come in. Mkhitaryan comes in. If you play Aubameyang on the left, he's not going to stay out on the left. He's going to come in. So everyone's going to crowd his space. Lacazette's not quick. So you're not putting through balls in for...
Aubameyang is quick, bro.
No, but this is my whole point. If you take Aubameyang off the left, who goes out onto the left now for Arsenal?
I think you're creating excuses for him. Because if you're being fair, David Silva and Ozil should be operating in a similar type.
100%.
Yeah.
However, David Silva is far more efficient.
He's got technical ability.
Who's David Silva playing through balls to?
Excuse me.
No, I'm asking you.
Okay, so
when you have Leroy Sané...
If that's the case, it should be clear and evident to us that Ozil is making these passes and other people are spoiling them. That's not what's going on. Ozil isn't making these killer passes for other people to spoil.
But in order for you to make passes, you need runs. Is what I'm trying to... Arsenal play too narrow. There's no wingers. When you can see even Man City today, you can see that whether Sané, Mahrez, Sterling, even Bernardo Silva, when they're out wide, they play out wide. When it's time for them to make the run, you will see people like David Silva, obviously, who weren't playing today. They will make those through balls.
So what you're
that's,
saying...
That's what's going to happen.
Yeah, you know what?
You need players around these sort of creative midfielders.
This game today, I think Arsenal's defence, they did well, you know, because I said it, like, when it was 1-0 at half time, I said, you know what? Arsenal are actually still in this, and the defence, they've been able to, like, weather the storm, if you like. But I think the issue with Arsenal today was the final third. They just looked clueless. Like, so how coach is saying the two wingers stayed out wide for City and then they knew what they was doing. Arsenal, when it got to the final third, they just looked clueless. But also, I feel like you're on 350k a week, bro. Get the ball and start dictating.
I don't count man's pockets, man.
Nah, but come on, bro. Like, you should be doing more. And that's why you got called out by German team, because you're coasting.
But once again, that's another good point though about Özil. You went back to the German team. Same thing with their problem. Their problem was the manager not picking Sane. Because when Özil got the ball, who was Özil looking for? It was the young kid Brand or whatever his name was. He wasn't the left winger. Then you got who was on the other side? Thomas Muller.
Yeah.
Who's not a natural winger either. So Ozil's looking up, and I'm looking at these guys coming inside. So we can only
play one system.
No, not one system, but I'm saying if you are going to have Özil in your team, you must know what type of player you have. Otherwise, take him out.
That means he can only play one system.
Whether you can play one system or not, this is the player you've signed, this is the player you've given a new contract to, this is the player you've got to build around. It's as simple as that. You gave him a 4-year contract, whether it's 300 or 350 a week, you've given him that. So you've given him that on the notion of the next 4 years, or at least 3, we have to build a team around you. There's no point in playing you on the wing, you can't run. There's no point in playing you in the middle with guys that are in your space, because you can't do anything, you look like you're lazy and all that sort of stuff. So you have to have the right players around Özil for him to shine. That's just the type of player he is. Whether it's one system or 1.5 systems, that's his system. You have to put the players around him for him to shine.
What do you think about the young boy? How do you say his name?
How do you say his name?
Gundozi.
Yeah, Gundozi.
You know what I'll say, yeah?
Gundozi.
The boy, he's going to be around for a while. Because I saw his attitude today.
Around at Arsenal for a while?
No,
I think he's. As soon as he busts his Arsenal, that's it. He's going to another team.
I think he'll be in the game for a long time, definitely. Whether or not, coach is saying at Arsenal for a while, that's neither here or there. But the kid himself will be around for a while.
For Emery to be playing him,
he always wanted the ball. He accounted himself really well for a first game in that intense. You played against City in your first performance, and you put yourself out there like you really showed everyone. Not to say there's not other players in the club that could have played that position, but we'll get to that.
I think he got let down today. I think Xhaka, someone that's experienced, playing alongside him, he got shown up today. He got, like, Gundozi showed Xhaka up today because he was doing it alone at times. I didn't even know Xhaka was on the pitch.
You know what? Xhaka left off. He carried on from where he left off, though. Yeah. That's what Xhaka's been doing. Yeah. Özil carried on from where he left off. That's what Özil's been doing. These players are doing what they do for Arsenal. New manager, not new manager, which is why the whole theory of players needing to take more responsibility, is there. It's a case in itself. These players are it's a different system. Okay, it's only one game. Okay, let's see what happens 5-10 games later, if they're going to suddenly change, or it's going to be the new players that are shining for the team or not. I
think the new kid that's come in, he did well today, very, very well, but I liked his attitude. He was ordering around older players. He didn't look like a 19-year-old. He looked like a guy that's been playing for Arsenal for a while. He was telling Xhaka where to go. Yeah. He was the one talking to Emery on the sidelines, what do we need to do? He was doing that. And I think a big statement from Emery, which I think he saw today, being his first match, is normally when you need to make a sub, it's the young boy getting tired. Mentally or physically, he's getting tired. So let me bring him off. He left him on and brought off Xhaka. This is supposed to be the seasoned professional player that's supposed to be bringing up this young kid. But it's the young kid bringing up Xhaka.
There was one bit I saw when the young boy, I think Czech made a mistake, and the young boy cleaned it up. I think Czech kicked it out maybe poorly. Yeah. And he turned back to Czech with his hands up, like, what are you doing? Yeah. The young boy telling Czech, what's going on?
We're all on the same pitch.
Yeah.
I might be 19 or 34, but we're all going for the same goal. We need to beat this team in front of us. So don't give those foolish passes that you're doing Czech at the back. But
you were saying, Kev, you were saying Maitland-Niles can play there. Can play DM.
Well, I've seen him. From what I've seen him playing that role, I feel like he has all the attributes. He's got the technical ability. He's got the brain to play that position. I feel like he could easily have played in the same position. Like literally, I think the both of them could have played.
So why isn't he?
Well, like we were discussing,
There's
I think it's because he's another black boy with pace. Remember, he's quick, he's athletic. I think because he's got that pace about him, they just turned around and said, you know what, you got to play wing positions.
But he does well at fullback.
Yeah, but you cannot punish someone for
Their ability.
their ability, their physical abilities. You can't be doing that.
Yeah.
At all, because I get that this whole theory of in our sports groups that we have, people are saying, Welbeck should play
Fullback. Because they haven't got the brain.
Exactly, but they've got history to be able to come back on and say, we've given him, he's had his nice run at playing striker and it's not pulled it off. So at this point, we should be trying him in other positions. So, because he tracks back really well. He's one of the best tracking back strikers there is. But there's not many points that go to tracking back strikers. It's all about what you do going forward. So then you need to start asking questions. Hold on, maybe we're playing this kid was playing out of position all this time. Anyway, back to Maitland-Niles. Yeah, he needs to be playing in the middle and he needs to not be put out that. I think it was unfair on the kid, really.
He's gone up against Mahrez.
Yeah, it's not fair. It's not fair, to be honest.
Even the Arsenal midfield, they could at least, if they were playing the young kid, what's his name again? Guendouzi in the middle, they could have played Maitland-Niles with him and another extra midfielder, which you could have the youth, the legs beside maybe a Xhaka in the middle or something like that. Just the legs up and down. So they had cover in behind and they can also have the freedom to move forward. But with me, Maitland-Niles, that's a good point. Like, he's athletic. If he wasn't athletic, would he be playing at left back? Yes, we know he can play in different positions, but why didn't Liechtensteiner play there? Yeah. Because he probably knows that you're not athletic enough to keep up with City the whole match. But he's a fullback. Whether he's right or left, he's a fullback. Maitland-Niles is a central midfielder. That is just what he is. So he should have been playing it.
Seems like he's not. I don't think he's going to get that chance, DM. But enough about Arsenal though. City, guys, what are we saying about Man City this season? We've seen them emphatically beat Chelsea last week. Today, they look comfortable. De Bruyne's not even on the pitch at the start of the game. Sane, they've got ballers.
Well, for me, before a ball was kicked, I said City for the title. Just because of the amount of points they won it by. Just because when you assess the rest of them, to me, it doesn't really look like anyone's really in position when it really counts to give them. If City do what they did last year again, or just 95% of that.
Do you reckon City can do what they did last season?
For me, I'm never going to put teams like City or whoever wins the title for automatic they're going to win the title. For the simple fact of recent history. When's the last time a team actually won back-to-back titles? That's like 2008 or something like that.
I know.
So history's letting us know already in that, listen, yes, we're seeing what we're seeing from City, but at the same time, history's telling us that no one's done back-to-back. Now, obviously, they can do back-to-back, and they are the favourites.
Pep don't do one single. He does back-to-backs, bro.
Listen, I get that, but what I'm trying to say...
Pep does domination.
Until you do it, you haven't done it. That's how I say it. You ain't done it yet, so... We just have to watch the season how it goes. They're clear favourites.
Can I ask?
They're clear favourites.
Who do you think he's gonna challenge them? Because I've got my own theory about that as well.
Liverpool have to be the ones.
I think it's open. I think people have written out Man United already. They've really, Spurs ain't spent a penny, so Spurs are out. All this sort of stuff. But I'm not writing out none of the teams that was up there last year. It's just who can go. City just made that killer start. That what was it, 17 wins or something? It's dead after that. It's the
history
that's what happened.
So the teams that were up there last season, are we forgetting how much City won the league by?
Yeah, but I think it was due to their start. I think their start gave them that head start, whereas normally in the Premier League you might have a couple months to feel yourself out and stuff like that, but the way City started, there was by the time we got to Christmas, everybody knew what was going to happen. Especially after when they played Man United. After that victory there, Man United were the closest people to them. After that victory, when they opened up that massive gap, everyone was just like, giving them a round of applause. You're going to win the league. But how many points, we don't know, but we know you're going to win the league. It's done, dusted.
Well, I'm giving them that same kind of reverence this time because that was not their best team and their best performance they were playing against Arsenal with, and there was still an element of control to their game. They're not even in top gear and there's still an element of control.
I don't think you have to be where Man City are. I don't think you have to be in top gear to be a team like Arsenal. Arsenal's not the Arsenal of all the Henrys and all that. It's a different Arsenal, and they've had Arsenal up for the last few years. No, the result was never in doubt. I think even Arsenal fans would say...
Arsenal fans going into the game...
Yeah, even Arsenal fans, if we get a draw or something like that...
How far away they were, testing yourself against the best. And
everyone knew that City was going to win. It was no...
But I just think with the acquisitions of just Mahrez, they've got an attacking potency that is just... I think Liverpool, with the signing of Shaqiri, is up there as well. But I think City, they just know how... Pep, we were talking about the tactics today with how everyone on the pitch knows what they're doing. Yeah, as a United fan, I'm jealous. I watched Liverpool and City back to back today. I'm jealous, and that brings me on to my next thing. Let's get straight in. We've got 2 United fans, or 3, including myself. So obviously, Coach is a United fan. You'll be able to tell who's Team Jose, and who's not in a second. But yeah, let's get straight into it. United, what's the current status of this team, man? Come on, let's
you go first, man.
No. I'll let one of you open the floor. Alright, go on.
Go first.
What are we saying?
Well, I'm not even the best person to go first because there's so much emotion attached that I have to pull myself away from.
What's on your mind?
I think Jose Mourinho came to our club. I've always wanted him to come to our club. Since Fergie retired, I wanted him to come to our club. There are people that can vouch for me on this.
Like that.
I wanted him at my club, and I'm not ashamed to admit that I wanted him at our club. He came. We were we were going through stages where we were a state of change, and he came and he settled our ship, if you will. And now, looking forwards, he's kind of looking like a dinosaur in terms of the way he manages players. It's a new age. It's a new age, and you have to have a management style that is appealing and appeases these players. They are multi-millionaires at 19 years old. You can bring in an Mbappe who's just a kid, and he comes in and looks at big boy players in their faces like, you ain't got nothing on me.
Yeah, the young boys are
you need, and that's a mighty ego to have at 19 years old. And that's hormonal. You're still hormonal. You still don't even know what you're saying or doing sometimes. You need that guidance. And if the person at the top is all over the place, how are you supposed to guide anyone? Do you see what I'm saying? It's like one of those absent father figures, that them stupid people that are wayward. Who are you guiding when you're misguiding yourself?
Don't you think because of his track record, the players, if they're smart, they will listen to him, because they know, if I listen to this guy, I'm going to be a Premier League winner. I will win Champions League. My career will go further. Look at the players that he's in the past: Drogba, Lampard, Terry, Carvalho. The list goes on, from Porto days, Manish, Deco.
My argument started with the characteristics, because the players you're talking about, I believe the individuals that you were just listing off, the Drogbas, the Lampards, you can go back to the Terrys and all these players in Inter Milan and Real Madrid, some of them, they're committed on all by themselves. I don't believe he had too much to influence their driving force.
I will say though, I remember Adebayo, shout out Adebayo, man. I remember an interview he had when he was at Real Madrid, and he was just basically talking about how Jose, come on, you guys must have seen him when he was like, we're ready to die on the pitch for Jose. Like at Real Madrid, he says it's basically us against the world. Maybe that style of management has changed.
Adebayo is an African player.
It's not for me, the style of management. It's not sort of a culture change. What's happened is the players have changed. The players have got soft.
Okay.
So I get what everyone means in terms of maybe Jose, you might have to pat them on the back a bit
Massage
more.
Your ego.
Put your arm around them, because if you say something bad, they're taking it soft. Where he's not doing that. So in terms of some people saying that about Jose, maybe we're not in the actual dressing room and all this sort of stuff. We're just seeing what basically he's coming out.
He says it in the media. You don't even need to be in the dressing room. He brings the dressing room to the media.
That's what I don't like.
And it's embarrassing.
Fergie, we'll never see a guy like that again. But he always used to keep things in-house.
But we need to get away from Fergie. That's one thing that's our problem already. That we're 5 years deep and we're still talking about Fergie. He's gone.
Okay, I can name other managers. Most managers keep things in-house.
And I'll tell you something about Fergie as well. Tell Mourinho when he comes in and he signs a contract, he says, Mourinho, you've got 6 years, don't worry about winning the league. If you can win one FA Cup, don't worry, you'll still be here. Because that's the thing, that's the head start Fergie got. He was there for about 5-6 years, didn't win nothing. Because he had to build his squad, build his team. He won his FA Cup, we probably saved his job.
Yeah, we did.
From then, the rest is history. Obviously now it's a different day and time, but we can't compare Mourinho to Fergie. This is what Fergie used to do. And I'll tell you another thing as well about Fergie. Fergie used to control every single thing about the club. Nothing's going through Man United without Fergie. Nowadays, it's a completely different ballgame. Like you guys said, football is changing. So if football is changing, everything else around is changing.
So Fergie, how do you think Fergie would have done in this day and age?
No, Fergie had so much clout that you can't tell him nothing at Man United. You can't. No, there's no players coming in, out. Fergie runs everything because I've won the 13 league titles, because I've won the Champions League twice.
Because Arsene Wenger, he still had say, and he wasn't winning trophies, but because he was there and he went unbeaten and he had the history, he was still able to dictate the club or what he wanted to do.
Which was whether it was good or bad or anything.
But what's the actual? All right, so I don't know how to put it. I don't know how to start with this because let's just start from even this season, pre-season, I was thinking, okay, cool. He's had 2 years now. The third year, we have to go for it. I'm not really seeing transfer activity. During the World Cup, Fred, the signing was announced. I thought, cool, one of a few that we're going to do. We're going to get rid of Deadwood.
Here we go.
We're going to get rid of players that are just not good enough, that are not going to take us to the level that we need to match City. He's going to bring the guys in. World Cup finished, nothing. I'm seeing Lee Grant from Wolves or Hull as a keeper. So obviously I'm thinking, okay, the transfer window closes early. Surely we're going to get this going. I'm not seeing any players getting sold. Only Daily Blind going. Mourinho comes out and says he hasn't got the players he wanted. He's put five players on the list for Woodward. He's only got one. I think Fred. Oh no, maybe the left back, Dalot.
Did he verbally say he's put 5 players?
He said he had 5 players on the list for Woodward.
Right.
And he was unhappy basically about it. And he was such a grumpy guy in pre-season.
He said this in the media, yeah?
In the media.
Oh, okay, thank you. No, go on. No, continue.
So basically, he's basically like, he's putting the dirty laundry out there. Like he's letting teams know I'm not happy. And what I felt from it, was that he realising that, you know what, City are clear. I'm not gonna catch City. They've spent well. I don't think I've spent well. I bought guys like Mkhitaryan. They're gone already. My centre backs. I don't know who my centre backs are. Yeah. Let me just distance myself just in case it goes wrong. Then I can be like, you know what, I didn't get what I wanted. I didn't get the players that I wanted in, and this is why we failed. Is
he speaking from emotion or is he speaking facts?
You talk.
This is my thing. I want to take all the whole emotion out of it. I think everybody's got flabbergasted with the way City's playing. So everyone thinks obviously that is the level.
Who are you taking emotion out of?
No, just the whole situation of Jose.
So you're dismissing his emotion.
No. I'm dismissing just the emotion around the fans in terms of, especially the ones that want him out because he says that in the media, he says this, he says that. Take all the emotion out. Let's look at the facts. If I'm the manager, don't forget, you put me down as manager, not head coach. I'm a manager, so I need to manage the squad. Cool. I've come in. This is my 3rd year. Yes, everyone knows it takes about 3 years to really get rid of old managers' players and bring your players in. About 3 years. Like when Fergie bought Rooney and Ronaldo when we didn't win the league for about 3 years or whatever. It takes about that long to build your own squad. Yeah? I've given you 5 names in January. Knowing that we got the World Cup, knowing that we got loads of players away, I've given you 5 names that you need to get in from January. Once again, I don't deal with transfer dealings. You've asked me who do I want. I've given you the 5 names in January. We are now in August 8th, 1 day until the transfer window closes, and I've got 1 player, which is practically Fred, because the lot's not just going to come in and play. because he needs time to settle in. So basically, he's just Fred.
he's injured.
Now, all of a sudden, as a manager, you have to try and relay this as to when Wenger went to the new Emirates Stadium. Remember, Wenger was taking all the bashing from, oh, don't worry, we've got youth, we've got this coming through. Jose's not doing that. He's not taking the brunt for the board.
Yeah, no.
I'm giving my names to the board. They're not buying me my players. This is what it is. Now the transfer window's closed. I've got to deal with what I need to deal with. That's my whole take on things. Is Jose Mourinho the manager of Man United, or is he the head coach of Man United? That's why he said in his interview after Leicester, stop calling me a manager, just call me a head coach, because I'm putting
another dickhead comment.
Okay, well, there you go.
But wait, but with that though, yeah, cool. I understand what you said, and he might be pissed off, and he might be upset with what's happening, yeah. But his characteristics of what he's doing. So you telling fans there's no point coming to watch this tour. Now you're affecting business because you're basically effectively telling players to stay away, fans to stay away. Yeah. But what I'm saying is that's just one of the things.
Let me go.
And then also you see how Klopp and Pep, they had young players on tour and they were saying, yeah, you know, these are ones for the future. But we're not saying we haven't got our team here. This is not Manchester United.
But what I'm saying is, why was Klopp and Pep so happy to give out the young players? You know why? Because in the background, my board is getting me a 70 million keeper. I'm not relying on Karius. I know Karius.
We're talking about the players now. I'm talking about you saying we haven't got a team.
But
the players, are you not affecting them?
But no, but what I'm trying, this is my whole point, what I'm trying to say. Them players, we know as fans, and everybody else in their grandma knows. Chung ain't playing in the first team. Yeah? The other young players, they're not playing in the first team because we'll be the first ones as fans saying, yo, Chung's not ready. Why is he playing against Leicester? This, that, and the other. We're the ones that accelerate the whole situation when it comes to preseason. I don't care about preseason. As long as players are getting their reps and what they need to do, that's all I care about. But if I'm a manager and I'm looking out there and I'm looking at my players and saying, you know what? About 8 or 9 of these boys ain't even going to be playing against Leicester. But you want me to come out and do the whole fake bravado thing on, the youth. And Klopp and Pep know they have their players coming back straight away. The players that they want and they give to the board, they know it. Karius made a mistake in the Champions League final. Board, I need 70 million for Alisson.
No questions asked.
No questions asked. Go and get him. Shaqiri release clause.
But
go
there's
and
a
get him.
reason for that. The reason for that is they didn't unsettle the big players at their squad. Listen, you lot are missing so many vital things.
Big players?
Okay, there's so many vital things you're missing to what led up to this whole transfers, this summer transfer window, yeah, where it's all messed up. See me, I'm Jose in. I'm Jose out right now, but I've always wanted him at our club. It was only in the summer when I started hearing him spew nonsense that I snapped and said, you know what? Because I was repressing an anger towards him because I was watching the way he was handling the club and thinking, this guy's a dickhead. And I had to listen to people tell me, like, rah, he's actually a dickhead. And I'll be like, nah, man, I'm lying. Deep inside, I'm thinking, I'm agreeing, I know it's the truth, but as a fan, I just don't want to admit it. Then when he went off in the way he went off this summer, I said, no, I can't stand this guy anymore. I cannot even pretend anymore. I have to make the truth be known. And everyone heard me in our own private sports group that we have. I let it all out. And the whole thing where it came from is, if you analyze it, he made himself enemies with the likes of Pogba and Martial, yeah? These are Luke Shaw as well. There's a few others. These are players that you could actually develop. Your track record is poor. De Bruyne, Salah.
Pow.
You've got people that you've done this to before that have gone on to better things and are punishing you. Your legacy, they're punishing your legacy in the Premiership, not abroad. In the Premiership, they're heating it up. They're lighting it up. They're actually doing really well for themselves. So what do you want the United board to do? Knowing that they've seen all of this. The United board are assessing him right now. Like, hold on a second.
How long are you gonna be here?
This guy, if we follow what you're saying, this same Pogba that you can't get along with will go and tear it up somewhere and make us look stupid. This same Martial that you're saying you can't get along and make him play will go and tear it up and make us look stupid. And we won't get the full value. And whoever they go to will get the full value out of it, get the full performances out of them, and then going to be selling them for 150, 160 million.
I think Jose, he wants ready-made players. Like, He knows that this is his third season. He wants the title now.
Oh yeah, he said he wanted. Look, if we assess who he wanted, Sandro. Listen, there's no problem with any of the signings he wanted. And to be honest with you, they were needed. In his ideal world, the board would have opened up the funds and given it to him for him to spend. And he probably would have done run City close with those kind of signings. I'm not disputing that.
Okay.
The problem is, first of all, you isolated players. You made look how Pogba's feeling. Look how Martial's feeling. Yeah. It counts. It counts because if you look at other great managers and the way they mold their squads, they make sure there's a balance in pushing them and keeping people happy. You had bonkers guys in at United. In my opinion, Fergie did so well to manage such a volatile player. He's crazy. He's a crazy guy. I watch him on TV nowadays. I think if you were like the way you are all this time, I'm surprised like they didn't just rush you in the changing rooms because you're actually a prick. Do you see what I'm saying? But somehow he made that work and he got great success out of it. Now Pogba does all his hairstyles and everything. You didn't know the things to say to this young boy to guide him to make sure he performed his best on the pitch.
Carrick, you see the shout out that Pogba gave Carrick that day at the Man City game.
Of course.
Carrick is the one that told him you can do this.
Of course, because that's the kind of thing he needs to hear at that point. If you assess him at his age, if I assess myself at a younger age, at that kind of stage in your life, you probably need that kind of guidance to support to say, yeah, you can do this, just get your head down and don't go out too much and don't focus on these. Remember the World Cup's coming up, you need to have a great... He's not doing all of that.
After the World Cup when Pogba won it.
Mourinho himself is worse than some of the players because you just come out and just spew all sorts of nonsense. Look at him in the press conferences. He talk nonsense that shouldn't be out there in the press conferences. You rubbish the young players. You actually rubbish the academy. Everything they've got going on. Even if you wanted to sell
about
players.
the academy, by the way?
These young boys, what am I supposed to do?
Under 24.
What am I supposed to do when we got these young players? But instead of putting a positive spin on it, you think these other managers don't know that? Well, of course they might feel internally or speak to their own coaching staff and turn around and say, listen, we're gonna just do the best we can because to be honest with you, these kids aren't up to the level that they're playing against in pre-season. But you know what?
But Jose has never been like that. Why would he be like that now?
Yeah, but can I just speak to that quickly? Number one, I know you're backing the board. The board are saying, Jose, if you're doing this, if you're doing that, why should we back you? But this is the same board that gave him a contract extension last year. It's the same board. Yeah. It's the same board that gave this guy a contract extension
in that
next
time.
year. No.
In that time, what's happened?
What I'm saying is the board gave him a contract extension. Has Jose showed anything that he's doing different from when he started to when he's now? There's no difference.
Yeah, there's differences.
Jose has been Jose.
You're missing up.
Jose has been Jose.
Martial wants to leave.
He came in. No,
Pogba wants to leave.
Listen. He came in. He said, I want to build my team, in other words. So all the LVG players, unless you can show me that you've got that Mourinho mentality, you need to be out the door. Schneiderlin out. Memphis out. Darmian needs to go and he still hasn't gone. Who else has just gone? Davy Blind out. All these players. Martial has a certain mentality. This is not Martial FC. This is Manchester United. If you don't have the mentality, that Mourinho's looking for to be that top player to fight against City, you can bounce.
All right, stop right there. So this is what I'm trying to say. As you just said that, that's my question now. If Mourinho can't get that out of Martial because Martial don't have the Mourinho mentality, how long is Mourinho staying? How long is Martial staying?
Let's
just say Martial wasn't Mourinho's type of player. Yeah. We sell Martial, Jose goes next season. Martial goes somewhere else. Now we don't have Jose and we don't have Martial.
But this is my whole thing where you set the tone of what are the boards setting the tone of, and like we always go back to Fergie days. There was a clear tone set, whether you're David Beckham, Roy Keane or Ruud van Nistelrooy, Fergie's going to be here. I think we have a manager that doesn't want to go elsewhere. He wants to be that long-term manager at our club.
You reckon?
I can tell by the way he talks, the passion he has for the team. I want my players so I can build this dynasty that we can start. He doesn't listen. If you look at Jose's record, everywhere he's bounced from, it's because he doesn't have that full-on control. At United, he knows that coming from Fergie, He tells that you're a manager at Man United. You have to manage everything. You have to win trophies. You have to manage everything. That pressure's on straight away. That's the thing. And he's trying to build his team. He's got in a few players that he got in last season. Great signings that we got. Okay, and then this season he wants to top up again, but he's not being allowed to by the board. But this is the same board that everyone's backing and saying, if I was the board, this is how I'll be thinking. But you gave him a contract extension.
This is my thing, though.
Why are you giving him an extension if you don't believe in him?
I don't agree with that.
He's changed from that time, though. I don't understand why you're moving like they just did it this summer. They did it quite a while ago.
What was a while ago?
But wait, with the whole...
When did the contract extension happen? And in the season that has just gone, he has done some stupid things. He has said some stupid things in press conferences.
Is Jose Mourinho. Everybody knows this.
Anyway,
Listen,
you knew who Jose was.
I knew who Jose was. I knew who he was. What he is now is the different level.
What was he?
The siege mentality is with himself. You know what? It's us against them. He's actually talking about it's me against the players. That's how bonkers he is.
That's emotional there.
Yeah,
that's an emotional answer.
That's not fact.
That's not fact. That's an emotional answer
okay.
to the question. So
no. It's not an emotional answer to the question, because when I watch TV and I listen to the interviews, I can see him talking.
Emotional.
He hasn't lost the
That's
dressing
his
room.
emotion.
If he lost the dressing room, we would know about it. Yeah. What I'm saying though, back to the board, yeah. Okay. You bought Bailey, you bought Lindelof.
Who look like they're going to be the centre-back pairing this season.
Cool.
Their second season.
Cool. You now want to top up and get another defender. Okay? Yeah?
Because it's a squad game.
Cool, it's a squad game. Mm-hmm. You have Jones.
Not good enough.
Smalling.
Not good enough.
Rojo.
Not good enough.
Lindelof.
Not good enough.
Bailey.
No, sorry, Lindelof is fine.
And you want to add one.
Whoa,
Wait, hold on.
What did he just say? He said Lindelof is fine.
No, Lindelof is fine, but obviously that's the player he's brought in.
Okay.
This is his second season
to
develop.
Now wait. Why don't you say to yourself, okay, you just said not good enough. Get rid of two at least.
You see, but that's
when you get rid of two, you can say to the board, okay, I want to get another one.
That's my problem right there. You're trying to separate the two. You can't separate the two. Who's buying the players? Who's selling the players? He doesn't buy or sell.
So Mourinho can't say, I want them gone.
No. He can say, I want them gone, but there has to be another club willing to pay for the likes of Smalling and Jones. And when they say pay, they might get them for a cheap 15 mil. Okay, no problem. What's your wages like? 70 to 80k. Whoa. We're not paying that sort of money for Smalling and Jones. You have to have another club that's interested in paying these guys wages. It's not about just saying, I want to get rid of them for, and another club just says, yeah, I'll buy them for, Jose. Don't worry. It's all negotiations. Maybe we can't get rid of them players because of their wages. It's so high that we can't get rid of them. That's my whole point.
But what he's talking about has been a United thing for ages. United don't sell on for major prices because we pay major wages.
You're talking about prices. I'm not talking about prices.
No,
I'm talking about wages.
Okay, hold on. You're missing. Okay, so that means you're missing what I'm saying. You have to sell for cheap to get them so that they can get out the door. Otherwise, the club that is buying from you is saying, I cannot give you 30 million for this player because his wages demands are so high. You have to give him to me for 20 so I can afford to cut his wage demands by 25%, and then he's even affordable.
You guys are talking about business. Who deals with the business at Old Trafford? It's the board, the same board that you said, if I was them, I would tell Jose this, the same board that gave him an extension contract, the same board that won't get him the players on his list. This is the same board. Woodward has to bring in the players. Woodward has to sell the players.
Okay.
So it's now Woodward going to clubs saying, listen, we'll give you 15 million for Smalling. Nah, I think Smalling's worth like maybe 18. No, sorry, we're gone. He does all the business. So if you're not getting rid of the players, Jose's keep calling you up, probably saying, when are we getting this player? Well, we can't get this player because we've got to get rid of Smalling. We've got to get rid of Jones. Clubs don't look like they're interested. We've got to keep them, etc. That's why he's growing so frustrated.
Okay, wait, hold on a second, yeah? So you listed all the centre-backs. I want to keep it with centre-backs because otherwise it'll get too messy. Yeah. So we got to get rid of everyone apart from, in my opinion, Bailly. Everyone else can go, to me. The rest of them, Lindelof is trash.
Because he's had a year to bed in, and now this is a year to kick in. Well, you want it now.
To be honest.
So Jose wants it now, But you criticise him for wanting the players now.
Okay, wait. I see players. I know. I can watch a player and say, you know what, he's got something in him. I feel it. I don't like the way Lindelof plays centre back position. It's not good for me. For me, when I look at it, I don't like it. So as a fan, I'm just talking from my perspective. I do not like the way Lindelof plays the centre back role. I want him to bounce at the soonest possibility he can go. That works for me. Yeah. That's really about it.
And just to touch on that point, just quickly, I think Lindelof and Bailey, this is their second season, and this is where the centre back. That's our best centre back pairing. The combativeness of Bailey and the more, you know how it is with partnerships and stuff like that.
Yeah, what's Lindelof's role?
He's more the ball playing centre back for me. He's the one that can split them passes down the line to the next midfielder. Wow. That's how I see. He's not going to be the physical defender that you're looking for. No one's going to be that physical defender. At the end of the day,
what do you think will be a good season for United? Jose's third season.
I've always been title or bust with Man United. I think when you let your standards drop and talk about second place and all that sort of stuff, I think you shouldn't be doing that. At the end of the day,
what do you think?
For me, if United don't win the title, it's a disappointing season for United. That's just the standard. Mourinho's staying for me. Give him the players that he wants. If he fails, he has no one to blame but yourself. We've backed you, just like we backed LVG, which they backed more than Moyes. Yeah, they got all LVG's players for him, etc., etc. Back Mourinho. If you're gonna back Mourinho, because this is my problem with Man United fans that want Jose out. I ask so many of them. If Jose goes, who we getting?
Okay, now stop.
Final point on it. Yeah, is you get if United have suffered under LVG, they suffered under Moyes. If you give him the war chest to purchase players and he doesn't provide, you are left with a whole squad with someone else coming in that they didn't want. They don't want. So really, you need to just leave it so that someone else can come and do their own thing.
So back to your question, who if not Jose? Yeah, I had this talk with my boy Ricky yesterday, and I'll say what it is about United is that what I'm seeing down the road, what they're building over there, yeah. The documentary is going to come up soon, the Man City behind the scenes. You're going to see the way their infrastructure is. They sat down and consciously made a model that, listen, for us to compete with not only United but the best of them, we have to build an infrastructure here. Yeah, almost like Barcelona. Now, who are we going to get in? They've got the Barcelona manager that's done it. Yeah, they are building a dynasty there, I'm telling you, and it's worrying. As a United fan, it's worrying. We look like we're just doing pay as you go, like we're just playing it. No, but listen,
because we've got the ultimate pay as you go manager.
Exactly. So this is my thing. If you ask me who, and I'm looking out there, I will go for Pochettino. No, the reason I go. Let me break down.
I'm not laughing at you.
Before you say why, let me tell you.
He hasn't won nothing.
No. Forget what Pochettino's won or whatever. Good luck dealing with Daniel Levy. Good luck with trying to get Pochettino out of Spurs.
Okay, I know. Yeah, this is ideally to me. I'm saying ideally to me.
If it was available.
Pochettino. Pochettino will
could always be bought out of contract.
I believe that as well.
All day.
I believe that as well. But what I'm saying is
20 mil, nothing. Shut up.
What I'm saying is Pochettino,
spent worse.
He will build from the ground up, because they're doing at Tottenham. Right now they're doing at Tottenham. And what I'm hoping is that Tottenham are going to go through what Arsenal went through when they bought the Emirates. They made no signings this summer. I'm hoping that they're not going to make any signings. Obviously, they haven't made signings. I hope that they don't win. Not that I don't like Tottenham, but I hope players like Harry Kane will go. Then they'll look at the project as just dissembling a bit. And that's when we can get Pochettino. And I believe that he will build United from the ground up. Mm-hmm. He knows how to deal with players. I just think Pochettino.
I'm on that wave with you. No. Because I want the Real Madrid manager to do well. I want Real Madrid to test Tottenham's resolve with a big bid for Kane. I want Tottenham to sell him. Mm-hmm. Then that's where Pochettino is.
I can't build him.
Okay, so what I'm trying to say is right now, you said Pochettino knows how to deal with players. With what players? Let me give you a prime example. Go back to Pochettino's comments about Luke Shaw, and then come back to me and tell me what did he say different to what Jose Mourinho said. He said the same thing about Luke Shaw. That if he can be whatever left back he wants to be, the best left back in the world. But his fitness and his mentality is poor.
But
Pochettino says it.
I'll tell you what Pochettino didn't say. What? He didn't say I had to come to the touchline and tell Luke Shaw to do what he has to do because
it was
he had
my brain and his body.
That is terrible.
Whoa.
That is
it was
terrible.
my brain and his body.
And that goes back to what I said before. Are we talking of emotion or are we talking
That's
of
facts.
facts?
He said that.
No, I'm talking about, was he talking facts? And the game that I saw that he was playing when Luke Shaw was playing, even Luke Shaw came on TV.
Hold on a second.
Wait.
But what you're saying, you're not holding him responsible for anything he says.
No, what I'm saying is this.
Oh, he was emotional, so excuse him.
I didn't say that. What I just said is he said I put my brain into Luke Shaw and etc. Listen, but what I'm saying is this. Was he talking facts in the match? Was he coaching Luke Shaw through every single thing? If you hear the Sky cameras and everything, he's coaching Luke Shaw through every single thing.
But
and Luke Shaw doesn't need that.
We can see that. If we can see that,
What's your problem with him saying that if you can see it?
Because you don't say that.
Why don't you say it? Because guess what? It goes back to what I said before.
No, because he's for the
players
play.
have a soft mentality nowadays. That's all it is. Just say that. Players are soft nowadays and they can't deal with the truth. That's all you need to say.
So who?
Don't make excuses for Luke Shaw.
See, you're missing it. Who benefits from him saying that? Jose Mourinho's ego benefits. That's all. The only winner from that situation is his ego.
Let me tell you why he doesn't benefit.
Luke Shaw don't benefit from that.
Let me tell you why he doesn't benefit.
No, club doesn't benefit from that.
But let me tell
his
you.
perception of the fans don't benefit. So the only angle where it benefits is his flipping stupid fat ego.
Let me tell you why it doesn't even benefit his ego.
That's it.
Let me tell you why it doesn't even benefit his ego. Because what he's trying to do is get something out of Luke Shaw. Listen, everyone here has played football. I don't know what managers you guys play football, and obviously we haven't played professional or whatever. But I used to have managers that used to tell me the truth. But my mentality was, I was so angry with you telling me the truth, I'm gonna go out there and prove you wrong.
But would you have minded if you told the truth in public?
I don't care.
No, so
if I had my mentality, but Luke Shaw doesn't have that
So
mentality.
you don't mind if, oh yeah, coach, this, that. But after he says the same thing in the media.
You know what he's forgetting is, as soon as he said that, he kind of destroyed him for the rest of the season.
He was gone. But that was saying, this is my whole point. You just made my point for me. He said one comment about Luke Shaw and he was gone. Is that a Man United player for you?
Nah.
Is that a Manchester United player?
Yes,
that someone has criticised you once and your season is done.
In the media, he said it in the media.
So,
I'm sure
Fergie's never said nothing about no one in the media.
1 second. He criticised him somehow. If it was his body, Luke Shaw's body and his mind, he got a good reaction and somehow it worked. Now all he needs to do is do that, maybe training a bit more with him, so more one-to-one sessions, and hopefully he don't have to do that no more. Because then it comes down to coaching. Because what you basically verbally said to the media is, I needed to coach him. If I was a reporter, I would have asked him, why can't you do that in training then? If it's your brain and his body, why are you not coaching him so that when he gets to the match days, it's all Luke Shaw? And then listen to what he said.
Okay.
Well, I tried. What was he going to say?
He'll
probably say some stupid ego.
There's a very emotional attachment to what Jose says, where people are just so taken aback by it that you can't do it because we live in this PC world. Okay, fine. But I'm going to listen to a player like Luke Shaw, who came on Sky Sports for his interview and said, I did not play up to my standards last year. I maybe wasn't fit enough as I should have been. A lot of people hear about what Jose say in the public, but they don't know what he's like behind closed doors. This is Luke Shaw saying this on Sky Sports. Yeah. He ain't coming out saying, oh, you know what, well, I've had to do it all myself. And
you know what.
This is Luke Shaw saying it.
It's too easy. Move to Pogba and explain yourself there. Because Pogba's one is the ultimate fuck you, I won the World Cup. What are you saying?
But wait, how come Jose didn't say well done in the
Okay. So now once again, we're looking at one comment. If you heard Jose over the World Cup weeks, when he ended up winning, he said, I dropped a message to Pogba to congratulate him for winning the World Cup. But guess what? See that Pogba? Let me finish.
This is why we called up Google. Please, somebody show me this.
Yeah, let me finish. Once he comes back from the World Cup, I want him with that same mindset that he won the World Cup with over here. Because if he has that mindset that he does over here, and one thing Jose said that was very critical. One thing that Jose said that was very, very critical. He said a lot of people saw the best Pogba because he was forced into an environment where it was just football. That was it. There was no kickboxing. There was no basketball. There was no hairstyles. There was no nothing. Why is it that Pogba went into the World Cup with no hairstyles? or nothing like that.
Deschamps.
Because there's a mentality in that French team that, listen, we could do something special here at the end of the day. And Pogba, why can't you take that? This is what Jose's asking. Take that what you did in the World Cup and bring it over here. Because if you bring it over here, Pogba, it's going to filter around all the other players. Because they all look up to you, Pogba. We can't deny that. All the players in that dressing room, they look up to Paul Pogba.
The thing is, I think Jose's told him this, but then in the public, it's just maybe too blunt. Like maybe you're saying, yeah, it's too emotional, but when they asked him, can you get the best out of Pogba, like Deschamps did, what was his answer? He was so defensive and so thinking about himself. He said, it's not about us getting the best out of Pogba, it's about Pogba getting the best. It was just like, he was just playing it down, like Pogba needs to focus. Instead of like, yeah, okay, we're going to try to get the best out of him. He's like, he distanced himself, like, so this individual, he does what he wants. No manager says that.
So this is my point. If we discussed earlier, if Mourinho's underneath a player and he does well, people say, it was the player himself. When Deschamps has Pogba for once, a couple of weeks, once every 6 weeks or 7 weeks, whenever they play qualifiers, it's Deschamps. You know, Deschamps done this to Pogba, Deschamps did this. But wait a minute, Deschamps don't see Pogba like that. Deschamps not there. Why? That's why I go back to the whole extravagant haircut and all that. I don't mind all that sort of stuff. You're a grown man, do whatever haircuts you want to do. But what I'm saying is that when I can see a clear difference in you, don't now start blaming the manager. Because for me, once again, Pogba was in a football environment at the World Cup. He was in a football environment. There was no going off here, going off there, going off to your barbers or doing anything. He was in a football environment. And that's what really helped him. And that's all Jose is a man that always pushes people's buttons. That's what he likes to do. He likes to test you. How strong are you mentally? Because if you can take my criticism, you're on your way. So when people are talking about giving excuses for certain players like Shaw and this, they're just weak mentally. And Jose is just pointing that out at the end of the day because he's the one that sees these players day in, day out. We don't see these players day in, day out. We see them on a Saturday, we see them on a Sunday. And guess what? When they don't play well, who do we blame straight away? Jose, you're not doing well. If it was Pochettino, if it was Klopp, if it was this, but you don't know what these managers go through on a day-to-day basis.
Okay, I can tell you this. They all go through, all the managers in the Premier League go through the same things. And Jose is one of the clear people that is dealing with it in this stupid fashion and not getting no productivity out of it.
Okay, so let me ask you that. What productivity is Klopp getting out of his squad? No, let me ask. No, go on. I'm asking you.
Is anyone unsettled and wanting to say it?
Okay.
So wanting to leave the club?
So that once again, that leads to my point again. We're in a generation where it's soft. So now winners are not congratulating no more. It's about just playing good football. That's what it's about now. So if Jose was playing good football right now and everybody was happy and smiling, don't forget Jose has come to Man United. He's won the what did he win again? The Europa, and he's won the Carling Cup.
When did I start off saying? He is a dinosaur. He's a relic.
He's a winner.
He's a relic.
He's a winner.
No. He's a winner. So was Graham Souness.
Winner.
He's old school. He's a relic. His style of talking to people and communicating.
Like I said,
is died out.
If you're a soft, mentally weak player, don't play for Man United.
We're not going to agree. We're not going to agree here.
No.
We're not going to agree here. So we'll go to the next topic, but we'll revisit this in the season again. Yeah. So you spoke about Klopp. Let's move the comment from United. There's enough United talk now. So Liverpool, obviously, emphatic 4-0 victory today. Made some good acquisitions. Klopp bought very well in the transfer window. He bought the players. Naby Keita is just a baller. He's got the right players. Like we said, he addressed the keeper situation. Got a 60 mil keeper in? Alisson? 70.
60.
No, wasn't it Chelsea? I thought it was a
69,
Chelsea
whatever
guy.
point, whatever you want to call it.
So, where do you think Liverpool... I think, personally, Klopp has had long enough now, and it's a culmination of this season, he has to... There's a title now. It has to be.
Well, for him...
It can't be out like fourth place. It has to be with the money they spent now, with where he's going. I think he should deliver now. Or win a trophy at least, bro. He ain't won a trophy yet.
I think with Klopp, you're absolutely right in terms of he needs to win a trophy this season. Absolutely right. And second of all, I think he's only one of the two people in the Premier League who are actually managers. I think him and Pep actually run their football club. So he has the infrastructure.
Wait, why are you not defending? Why is Jose not part of your list?
Because he's saying that the board.
I've already said he's not a manager. He's Jose is a head coach now. He said that in his interview because if I'm giving you players,
are you just taking what they say in the media, or you giving your own analysis of what your opinion is of Jose? Because it's like everything.
No,
is
I'm
quotations
what I'm saying
you
is
can
that
see what
I'm giving if I'm giving quotations, what are you basing your stuff off?
Quotations
of Jose in the media, yes?
No.
Yes.
No. I'm saying you're taking. So, he's basing his. No.
No, but what are you
Let's
basing?
talk about Klopp, bro.
Okay. Going back to Klopp quickly. I think he needs to win a trophy this season.
He has to, bro.
The signings that
So
he's
does
made have been
Jose.
good.
Then, if that's the case, then so does Jose.
The signings that he's made this season.
He's had as much money.
Exactly. I've already said Jose has to. With Man United, we have to win trophies. That goes without saying. We don't need to put the pressure on him. Yeah. So he's made good signings. I think Shaqiri, Keita obviously made that last season, and the goalkeeper's essential. I think also Joe Gomez coming into their lineup.
Will he start though?
Yeah, for me, above all their centre backs.
Who's the centre backs? Lovren, Matip. That's right.
Lovren, Matip, Van Dijk, Clavan. So I think the best partnership is Joe Gomez and Virgil van Dijk because they complement each other. Both strong.
Joe Gomez is coming off of like a serious injury.
Yeah.
So to say he's
potentially, I think.
Potentially. So in a few months' time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just saying I can see that even off today's performance, you can see if Joe Gomez stays fit, he will be the partner for Van Dijk.
And who they got up top? They got Salah, Coutinho, Firmino. Same. I said Coutinho. Yeah. Salah, Mane, and Firmino. Same front three as last season.
And they started off on fire again.
Yeah, man. I think they have to deliver.
Yeah, and I think he's put more quality in his midfielders as well. I think he realised that he got away with playing the Hendersons and too many. He had too many midfielders that were alike.
Can Henderson get back in this team?
If everyone's fit, no.
Who would you go with? What three?
I would go with Keita, Milner, and Wijnaldum.
Oh,
what I saw today, because I think all of them are different. I think Milner can do the water carrying stuff. He just runs all day. That's what Milner's around. And you need players like that in your squad. You need the players that are going to carry the water. Then you've got Keita, who's left-footed, who can give the balance to the team.
He's got a big...
And then you've got Wijnaldum, who gives you a little bit of... You can do a little bit going forward, but he can also track back as well. That's my midfield.
Who's got the best three in the Premiership?
I mean, that's not even a...
Because obviously Chelsea have got now Jorginho, Kante...
Is that a question?
What?
It's got
City?
to be City.
Who's that? Fernandinho,
and everyone's fit. Silva and De Bruyne. They're proven. They've done it. Everybody else is wait and see.
Who's United? Matip? Not Matip.
It would be Matic, Fred and Pogba. But they haven't done anything. Arsenal right now, it's all up for grabs. He's playing in the middle there. So we don't know yet. We just know the young boy is going to be playing.
So what are you saying? Who do you think is going to win the league? City, yeah? You're saying City?
By a distance.
City as well?
No, I don't know. I just say City are the favourites, that's it.
God damn. Yeah, obviously, another thing I was going to speak about, what was I going to say? VAR. They decided not to use VAR in the Premier League this season. Well, the managers opted out, but that was before the World Cup. Do you reckon if they waited till after the World Cup, if they had that decision, they would have said yeah? I think the World Cup was a success, no?
I think VAR is absolute nonsense. That's just me. Because you're trying to make football perfect and it's not a perfect sport.
But don't you think it added a sort of entertainment to
it added entertainment when you're playing a competition for 4 weeks. That's great. But if every week I'm watching my team, then there's another 2-minute delay, another 3-minute delay, then the referee's going over to the monitor. And so VAR even got some decisions wrong in the World Cup. A lot of people's opinions. So that's the whole point about football. It's just based on opinions. And the referee's one of the players in the game.
VAR cannot get a decision wrong.
The referee has to get a decision wrong.
The referee can get the decision wrong.
VAR gives you a second lap.
I'll just give you an example. For me, I think that World Cup handball is not a handball. If somebody's jumping...
But the referee made that decision.
No. He went to...
Yeah, VAR. And you know the VAR told him. He looked at it and thought... So it basically gives you a second chance to look.
But what I'm saying is that why did he go back and look to it?
Because
there was a question.
But I'm saying that his decision for me was right. I think VAR was wrong. That's what I'm trying to say.
Wait, what did the referee give? Penalty?
Yeah, I don't think the referee gave it.
The referee didn't give a penalty.
I think VAR, they tell you in your ear if there's a possibility you might want to go and look at this again.
No, he gave a penalty. Yeah.
Are you sure he gave a penalty or VAR put it in his ear to go and double check?
No, he gave it. They didn't play on after that. Because they went straight out for...
I need to see that again. Because I know VAR confirmed...
Put it this way, they get it right more times than wrong. And I think
the delay's too much.
Yeah, but that's cosmetic.
new.
You can change it.
They'll perfect it.
It could be a thing where at basketball, like, a team only has a certain amount of calls, so it's not every. I think VAR would.
Because at the moment, he's the only person that's in control of the game. In maybe in a year or two's time, they might decide, you know what, we will have a dedicated VAR reference person that he calls it, he sees it. If he wants to go to VAR, the person says, I've seen it, this is what it is. And then it happens a lot smoother and a lot quicker.
I mean, I just like the drama of football. I mean, over the years, all teams get decisions against them. It's things to talk about. I think the good technology that they brought in was the goal line thing. I think that was needed 100%. That just helps out the referees so much, that because it's so quick that you can't see it. But when you just look at your watch and your watch says goal, we just go back to the halfway line, let's start the game again. I just like the game to flow a bit more. Yeah. And I know they will improve the VAR because it was just a tester in the World Cup and stuff like that, so they got things to improve. But I just think football in general, especially the Premier League, I like the drama of it sometimes. People can talk on Monday morning about this decision, that decision. I just like it. We're going to get some decisions, your club's going to, it's going against your club as well.
Yeah. You know what? We're going to wrap up soon. We've been here for a bit still, so this podcast is a sports podcast. It's not just football we talk about. Let me just plug the show coming soon. Actually, we've got the Team Talk Football Show, which will be coming very soon. I think it should be coming this week, first airing. Catch that on YouTube. All the socials will be in the bio for this video, or the SoundCloud link. We'll talk about boxing. Should we do that? Let's talk about boxing before we finish up.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. So is there any major fights coming out?
Joshua Khan's coming up.
Joshua Povetkin.
Khan's coming up as well.
Joshua Povetkin probably.
What, you reckon Joshua goes through him?
He should do.
Yeah, I think he should do. I think it'll be difficult. It's a step up in opposition. It's difficult. It's a difficult fight because Povetkin's got some serious pedigree behind him. They've taken a risk with it. I'm not sure they really actually understand what Povetkin is. He's a real accident waiting to happen for someone. Maybe I think Joshua has the quality to go through him, take care of him, but Povetkin's not easy. Just like you remember the whole hype when I was saying Klitschko is not a joke, he's not a joke, The day that he dropped him, I was then looking at people's faces like, you lot thought this was going to be a walk in the park. It's not that type. If it's a similar type of scenario, whereas when you're going to make that kind of risk, why didn't you just fight Wilder?
No, but this is why I'm happy that he did it, because even before Wilder, there was talks of him ducking Ortiz. Eddie Hearn didn't want Ortiz to fight Joshua. They even brought him onto Matchroom Sports so they didn't have to fight each other. Yeah. Wilder took the plunge and said, you know what, let me fight him. Yeah. So I'm happy that Joshua's actually taking this fight against Povetkin, because he's dangerous.
Me personally, I'm not having Wilder anyway. I'm not with Joshua and Povetkin. I think the heavyweight division is one punch
Anyone
away.
can knock it anyway.
You're one punch away. Unless you're Joseph Parker, you're one punch away. That's me. Unless you're built like I'm saying Joseph Parker doesn't have that one punch. But most of the heavyweights is one punch, and then that's lights out. When White caught Joshua as well, that was just one punch, and
Chisora
Fury's fighting Fury and Wilder agreed to fight each other.
I saw Fury fighting next week or something. Is that true?
Fury's agreed to fight Wilder.
No. I saw an advert.
And he's
fighting somebody else.
And he's fighting someone before that. Okay. So is Wilder. They're supposed to both have some prelim.
Who's Wilder fighting?
I think Brazil or something like that, man.
Yeah. Wilder, for me, Wilder's a paper champion.
You don't rate Wilder?
I'm just gonna keep it real here. I don't like. Wilder's got how many fights?
Like 40 something.
40 something, and never unified the title.
Man, he's clear. He banged Ortiz, and that was a serious. It was a serious.
If I'm a champion like Wilder says he is, and I've had 40 fights, and I have never unified the championship belts. I've never had a match where I can unify. So what have you been doing with the other 40 guys that you've put?
I reckon that.
It don't take you 40 fights to unify the... How many fights has Joshua had?
Listen, it does when you can tell that, he's trying to fight Joshua.
No, but wait, this is the thing. That's the criticism of him. They're saying that, like Coach said, you could have unified it, but you waited for one champion to do all the hard work. Joshua's got 3, no?
In how many fights?
So Joshua went to go and do all the work. You now want to fight Joshua and just...
But what's happening there is because Joshua is that check at the same time, they would rather fight Joshua because when they lose, they get a big check. But when the offer was made for them to fight Wilder, they're like, I'm just coming to get knocked out by you and get nothing for it.
But the thing, what I was trying to say,
you get paid when you get knocked out by Joshua.
No, of course.
But when you don't get paid when you get knocked out by Wilder. So this is why it's easier for these people.
Wilder's had 40 fights. And Joshua's had 21 fights or something like that, professional. So he's almost had double the fights, but was never in a unified match. So when it comes to Wilder, I'm not really. I think it's more of the people around him than Wilder himself.
He's an Olympic.
Wilder, yeah.
But AJ was an Olympic champion. He was the perfect specimen to build into what he is now. This was preconceived. They already had the plan to do it, and they've just done it. And now Joshua is exactly what Eddie Hearn wanted him to be, is what he's turned out to be, and that is like a unified champion.
So wait, you think AJ beats Wilder?
That's a 50-50 fight.
Okay.
Once again, they've both got knockout power.
Yeah, 21 fights is her 21 wins.
All it takes is one punch with them two. All it takes. But if it gets technical, Wilder doesn't want the fight to get technical because he will lose.
In my opinion,
he has to just go swinging with the forms that
if Wilder takes this fight with Joshua, Wilder takes the fight with Fury. I'm sorry. Fury will beat Wilder. I've told everyone this already.
I can't have that.
Oh yeah. If the same Fury shows up like of how many years ago when he fought Klitschko,
it's not happening.
It won't be that. It won't be the.
There's a reason why Wilder's going to fight Fury now.
It won't be the Fury Klitschko.
He knows he can beat.
It won't be Klitschko's Fury.
That Fury's gone.
And I think Wilder, you need to take credit because how AJ, I've always said this. AJ ticked the boxes, the last boxes that I had of him when he fought Klitschko. He got knocked down.
Yeah.
Came back, showed heart, and came out with a win. And I think that was his
statement.
That was a statement win. But I think Wilder had his, against Ortiz.
I don't.
Ortiz had him rocked.
Wilder was talking about Ortiz and Klitschko being on the same level.
Ortiz is the most ducked fighter. He's the most skillful heavyweight.
But we say ducked, but we're not. It's us fans saying, "Oh, we want you to fight him now," but they don't fight him now, so we say ducked. But realistically, is anyone really ducking Ortiz? Really?
AJ ducked Ortiz.
Ducked Ortiz, but took Klitschko.
Because Klitschko was the
better fighter.
Yeah.
But who's the better fighter? Who's the more dangerous fighter, Klitschko or Ortiz? That you think? For me, Klitschko, he's experienced and he's got a bit of knockout power as well. No, Ortiz is dangerous, but Klitschko and Ortiz. I mean, who's the bigger risk, really?
Ortiz
is I'm telling you, bro. When he had Wilder rocked here, mate.
I don't think you understand. What Eddie Hearn would turn around and say, the thing is, the guy is an open book. He would say it's clear as daylight. You could make 20 million fighting Klitschko, or you can make 2 million or 3 million fighting Ortiz. Also on the table fighting Klitschko is 3 world titles. Also is the fact that this is the most dominant, one of the most dominant champions there's been in the sport.
Boy.
Who are you fighting? You're fighting, everything just points in one direction. Ortiz isn't even a consideration. Where it then becomes a bit jammy is when there were the different organizations say, Ortiz is the person you need to. You somehow find a way to say, no, I've got a unification fight, so I can't fight him now. And then, I believe sometimes, I don't know, I feel that there's a lot of situations where Ortiz should have fought Joshua by now, but they're taking the easiest route possible. But that can only last for
I swear Ortiz is fighting Dylan White, or has that not been made? Or I wasn't?
No. Or can we say the same thing about Dylan White? Is Wilder ducking Dylan White?
Dylan White.
No, Wilder said, I'll fight AJ. No, I'll fight Dylan White. He said, I'll fight Dylan White as long as AJ's in the contract.
But what's AJ got to do with Dylan White?
Because Eddie Hearn obviously manages both of them.
No, but what I'm saying is that if we're talking about fighters ducking other fighters, I'm saying that Wilder and Dylan White, why is he ducking Dylan White? Why are you talking about Joshua when it comes to Dylan White? Because guess what? Win, lose or draw, that means in the contract, whether I win or I lose, I'm going to fight Joshua. That's the guarantees he wants. Now, why would you have that guarantee in the contract already if you know you can just wipe out Dylan White?
But like you said,
if you have the confidence to do it, and you're getting paid more than you've ever been paid in your other matches as well.
Yeah.
So what's there to say no about? And he's coming to America.
Do you not
Any
know
state
about,
you want to go?
Do you not know about Terence Crawford and Errol Spence?
Yeah.
Which one do you think is the guy?
I think Errol was just.
I call him Uncle Errol. That's me.
Errol is just a cold killer.
When I knew,
so you're not dismissing
No, I'm not
Terence
dismissing.
Crawford is cold.
When I knew Errol Spence was the truth, is when Mayweather came out in the interview and he had a black eye, and the guys were asking, "Oh, so you've just sparred before you? I don't know what fight it was. Where looks like you got a black eye." Yeah. Things happen in the gym, bro. Come to find out, it was Errol.
Oh,
in sparring that gave him that black eye. And if you see ever since then, the way Mayweather speaks about Errol Spence, he knows he's the next one.
Yeah, Errol's cold.
That's when I knew Errol was, because even when they asked him about that, rumor is that you gave Floyd a black eye.
No, it's humble with it.
Yeah.
Dropped him.
Because
we talk about
the story goes he dropped him. It's even worse than that. He dropped
people
him
that were there saw it.
sparring, which is something that don't happen.
Yeah, he's a bad boy. Even with the
He said he sent him out of the ring and then called him back in. That's what the people were saying that when they were there. They said Floyd got so angry, said, "Yo, get out of my ring," and he went out.
Shit.
But then when he calmed himself down, he said, "Yo, bring him back in."
Nah.
But that's Floyd's pride just getting clocked.
Bro, when he fought Kell Brook, because I rated Kell Brook at one point. I thought before the GGG, and the thing is, the Golovkin fight. Okay, he lost, but he caused some problems that we hadn't seen at one point. For Golovkin. Golovkin was.
No. He was doing very well.
So when that matchup was made, Kell Brook and Errol, I thought, okay, let's see this. He's come to England as well to fight him, I swear.
But Kell Brook was a dead man. Once he was 147. No, once he was 147, he was a dead man. You can't make 147.
He's a big boy. He's a big boy.
Cannot make. That's why Golovkin, what was that, 160? That's easy for him. He can eat all the food he wants to eat, but.
What are you saying about Golovkin, Canelo? I know, but when is it happening? Is it happening?
Been paying attention to that too.
Is it happening?
It is happening.
15th.
What happened? There's no publicity around it. It's not 15th.
In America, yes.
No, but even in America, I think who is it that was saying that there's no one's talking about it.
That's why Joshua. They said no. It's one of the dates. That's why Eddie Hearn was saying he doesn't want to do it on the same day as Golovkin and Canelo, because that will obviously mess up the.
So who's pound for pound then? I think it's Errol, man.
No, it can't be Errol. Errol ain't fought enough people.
No, it will be Errol. It will be Errol.
No, it will be.
Yeah.
It will be.
Like the future, who we talking about? Who's the guy? Because boxing, I don't know, it's taken a hit. At one point, it looked like it was at all-time high. Maybe the heavyweights are taking over right now.
What happened again is they started dodging. People started watching their pockets.
Too many belts, man. Too many belts in boxing.
I agree.
Too many belts. And that's why everyone ducks each other. I'll get you man onto UFC very soon, man. You man to jump on UFC.
I'll never be on UFC.
Nah,
That's
you
an ugly
jump on
sport.
UFC.
I'm not interested in that.
Well, trust me, there's glamour to it.
I think it's a good sport, but it's just a lot to have to start again from scratch on.
Just not interested in that sort of sport.
Alright, guys. So that was the first podcast. This was a pilot, basically, however you call it. But we're here to stay. We're gonna do this every week. You know, to find us. So we're gonna put the socials in the info for you guys. All right, peace.
Jose in.